Alright guys, how's it going? I'm Nat Boy. I'm here at Beamer Street with Adrian, the owner. We've been at the shop multiple times, but this one is going to be a very special one. We have a Valvemaster exhaust that we will be putting on the car.
So the Valvemaster exhaust we got is for an E92 M3. I believe they're the same between E90 and E92. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's the same. It is the first Valvemaster exhaust for E9X in the United States, and we will be installing that today.
So guys, this is the Valvemaster exhaust. So this is the first unboxing.
For us, yes.
For us, yeah. I mean, this is the first one in state.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, so this is the first one in state, and we're going to install at Beamer Street. I guess we'll shoot the clip after everything out because this looks like a mess.
It's pretty well packaged, so we're going to be going through a lot of unraveling here. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the materials.
Are very high quality, as you can see. These are all pulse welded accordingly. And it looks like it uses the same actuators for the exhaust as Vomez. And to be honest with you, this all looks pretty much the same as my Vomez. I'm not gonna lie. Even the cans look the same.
Really?
And like the hangers. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same manufacturer. I mean, you know.
Right.
But it looks like it's proper. It looks like it's 304 stainless. It's all very nice. Looks like crush bend here to clear the differential area. So no, it looks like it's very proper. The hangers are a pain in the butt to align, but it all come out good. So what we'll do is we'll lay it out and like install it on the floor and see how it all fits. All right.
Pocket so fat, call me Orbit. Orbit, gotta wait to make no moves, I be loaded. They would be a friend with you, I make a move on you. I be loaded. Ain't gotta wait to make no moves, I be loaded. Why you watching drinking 40s, I just told it. Still that same, in a foreign, but it's stolen. Ryan sporty, acting sporty, can't control it. I'm doing fraud, got that bag, yeah, I'm transporting. I got that bag on me, feel like I'm transporting. He dropped the mixtape, thought I would've reposted. I ain't posted mixtape, cause I don't f shorty. I be booted to the morning, PM to the morning. My little Wody wanna bag him, he just wanna roll it. Hold up, don't you owe me? Yeah, you owe me, don't it? Like I'm an island of adventure, how I stay rolling. You tryna diss me? I need you 6 feet. She say she miss me, then she wanna kiss me. Damn, I'm so crispy. Zan got me dizzy. Trouble me, I ain't shy. I keep that glitzy. I was spin bent, yeah, Fritz me. What the lick read, baby, come and lick me. V12, I'm riding in a 6-speed. I be ballin' on you, not in this league. Ain't gotta wait to make them movies, I be loaded. Why you watching drinking 40s, I just told it. Still that same, in a foreign, but it's stolen. Ryan sporty, acting sporty, can't control it. I'm doing fraud, got that bag, yeah, I'm transporting. I got that bag on me, feel like I'm transporting. He dropped the mixtape, thought I would've reposted. I ain't posted mixtape, cause I don't f shorty. Yeah, that Glock got it standing like an outlet. How you out, chip? I ain't get you out yet. I'm so damn fly, I do not step. Yeah, I pop, and I pop checks. I don't know where I'm going, I'm just floating. My dog got gun license, but he let me hold it. All these phone it, I do not condone it. I be going ham, I do not belong it. It's a cool that moment, yeah. Bought it cause I wanted it. I be on the corner, yeah. The law enforcement. Project baby got no stroller, but I keep pushing. Shout it love for me.
There's some things that you could do DIY, and some things you just leave to the people who know how to do it.
You got the wrong guy, Tim. Alright, so we got to get all these connectors off pretty much. It's pretty straightforward if you pay attention. You just have secondary oxygen sensors, primary oxygen sensors. These are your primaries in the front. Then you have the secondaries in the rear back here. It's pretty hard to mess up. The best way to distinguish them is the primaries have a ovalish style of connector with a square back end. And the secondaries, they have a rounded connector. With these, all you do is just pull, and that's your secondary. And they are color-coded per side, so it's pretty hard to mix them up, you see. But if you look at this on the E9Xs, you have to be very careful, because being that they're the same sensor, you could cross the connectors and read the wrong banks, so be very careful about that. It's pretty hard to mess up, but you know, everything is possible at this point. We're gonna let the car cool off, and then we're gonna start breaking down. So we're gonna spray everything down, let everything soak. We do have some corrosion. Looks like this car came from Canada, and then we'll take it from there. Oh, she's leaving on me. pretty straightforward. You have E12s and 14s in the rear side. Then you have a center supporting bracket that's mounted by the trans area. Then this bracket to itself, I like to just free this up to give more spatial room. This bracket here sits in this general area here, and there's a brace that comes in this area, and that holds it, which is, where did you leave that brace, Anthony? Oh, I guess we're short later. It's a metal brace that comes across here, and then it has a mounting tab here. There it is. That's the one we're talking about. A lot of people just think that's just a standard body brace, but it's a body brace and an exhaust hanger as well, as it bolts onto these guys right here. Then on the back side, you have 18s. You could either take them off the 18s or you could pry them off the grommets to save time. And then in this general area, you take off the 8s. This comes off, and then you have Torx on the upside of this, and this brace comes on and everything. This whole exhaust comes on as one unit from this point. This is the catback section. So we're going to take off the bumper carrier portion here. That comes off here to give us more leeway and leverage. So then you can pull this back, and you can see how this is all held. I'm not sure if the camera can pick that up. To do 13s. That's tasty. WD-40 tastes great. That is off. We can pull this down now. All right. And then we just have to take these hangers off, and this exhaust is down as well. Factory exhaust, as you can see, the canisters, they call this the suitcase. It's a very large muffled system designed to be quiet from factory, obviously. We're going to be transferring all these hangers over. This is the rear hanger. Then you have the hangers over here, which are the center grommets and the mid grommets and fourth. This exhaust from factory has, like I said, the suitcase muffler. It has the 2 resonators, has 2 center cats and 2 front cats. So this is a very, very, very tame system to be performance-esque and quiet. Whereas the Valvemaster has no catalytic converters. It has a front resonator set, mid resonator set, and then the rear mufflers that are chambered, and then these sensors here, or motors, whatever you want to call them, they work on a switch, and they open a valve inside for it to be louder and quieter. When it's quieter, this closes the valve, comes through this section, it's chambered, and it comes out over here, and vice versa, comes this way, and over here, makes it quiet. When this valve is opened, the exhaust pretty much goes straight out from here, bypassing the chamber and being much louder. So pretty smart design if you want to keep it, you know, sleek and quiet, and you know, if you want to have performance on the fly. Valve systems are a new thing now, and you know, they're I guess the old exhaust systems are just out now, but valve systems are the wave. All new cars have them, and it's, you know, very prominent to the market. People like it, and it's great. You want to be loud, you want to be quiet, you have what you need.
Right. So some people actually just cut off this exhaust and they take the filling inside and then they shut it back and weld it, correct?
And they repack it pretty much, yeah. So there's perforated piping inside as well. They pretty much remove the perforated piping. You come across here, you cut this open here, and then inside here you have a perforated pipe. You cut the perforated pipe out and weld a straight pipe in, and that would make it a like performance exhaust in a way.
Now I don't really understand that, because this is heavy, so why not just cut it off and just do a pipe?
Some people like the OEM Plus, I guess you could call it. I guess is what they do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Some people try to save money, but realistically, as much effort as you put to drop this down and open it, you could drop one of these in and save so much more time.
Yeah.
And it's pretty, it's lightweight, you save a lot of, you know, time, and then all that fiberglass, it's, you know, it's very bad to breathe, and then you still have cats. So, I mean, which in certain areas like California and whatnot, you have to worry about cats, but I'm sure there's resolutions for that. But since we don't have that worry, and we don't have to worry about catalytic converters clogging or anyone really stealing your cats, which is becoming a problem nowadays. But other than that, I mean, it's 100% personal preference. I'm pretty happy with how everything looks. Judging by the length, looks like everything's going to fit the same. As soon as we put it back together, we just have to transfer all the stuff over in this. I like to build from the back to the front, just to make sure everything is clearance correctly, because when I notice from the front to the back, things usually get tweaked. But everyone has their own preference, you know? So let's get to it.
Yo, my leg go right now. Don't be kind of hard.
Yeah, don't do that. Hold this here tight. Okay, almost done, guys.
Only took 4 people.
Yeah, it's 3
One
people.
camera guy and 3 mechanics.
Oh, stop crying. This is nothing. You know, it's kind of stuff I dealt with before.
I have yet to try.
Besides being elbowed in the titty by you, it's pretty bad. Make sure like just let it hang.
Yeah, it's chilling now.
So for our viewers, I always recommend you replace these donut gaskets because what happens is this doesn't seat and recess appropriately. I told Nat to replace these, but if it does leak, we'll get them in order. They'll come in tomorrow morning. Highly, highly, highly recommend that you replace those donut gaskets. They are crush style gaskets and they crush into the flange of the insertion. I can show you here on the test pipe. You see how it's conical here? So being that it's conical, it recesses in that point and crushes and makes a perfect seal. If it doesn't perfectly seal, you'll have improper AFR readings and the car will run actually leaner or richer depending on what happens. You do a good job stroking that pipe, man.
Yeah, I practice.
So, pretty self-explanatory. The thing that looks like Megatron.
Yep.
So, you have accessory, valve, OBD. So, accessory is the power. So what we do is we cut off the cigarette lighter. I take a razor, I go in between the wires, I slit it nice and open, pull it through and cut it. Then you put 2 ring terminals, power, ground obviously, right over here. Convenient that it's in the rear. Then you take the connector, you plug that into accessory, like so. And then it doesn't matter which orientation for the valves because it's gonna do one movement regardless. So you put valve A and valve B, and you're pretty much complete. I like to wrap up the wires and loom them up or whatever the case may be, just to keep a clean install. You know, put it somewhere safe, insulate it, 3M it, wherever you want to do. Put it here, put it like that, whatever makes you happy. Yeah, so what I like to do with the E9X is bring the wires through here pretty much, and then I cut a little hole or whatever you want to do. I like to shove it in here. I cut this open and I notch it here. Pretty much so you get the idea of where this would sit at that point. Cut it open here and you notch this area here and it fits like OEM. I notch a little more on this side for the wires to sit more flush, and I notch this area here so now this sits like OEM. Doesn't move. Inside the outer pipe, open and closed.
That's so fast, dude.
Oh yeah, it's on fly. Yeah. It's very quick, very responsive.
Alright guys, so we just finished installing the Valvemaster exhaust on this E92 M3. Install went very well. I mean, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was smooth. No complaints. We did have a small hiccup, but they're going to take care of it. We had this clamp here break, but you know, nothing can be perfect. It's the first one essentially to be installed. Everything went smooth. We went from the backside forward, which you saw in the video, but we're going to have a small glimpse of the complete system and give you some sound clips.
Which one is on? Doesn't matter. Top of the top.
Sounds
I mean,
good.
I didn't want to smoke us all in here and kill us all.
Oh, the hot boxes. That's hot box. Sounds excellent. The
Yo, it sounds
snacks, dude.
crazy.
It's gonna be smoky, obviously, because on the